The honest answer to whether SCHD beats the S&P 500 is it depends on what beat means specifically to you. And the fact that the answer isn't simple is exactly why this comparison matters. Because most people asking the question are comparing two completely different things and not realizing it. SCHD and SPY are not trying to do the same job. One is optimized for wealth accumulation, the other is optimized for growing income. Those produce different numbers, and whichever one wins changes depending on which scorecard you're specifically using. So let me run the actual comparison and give you the honest result. Here's where each fund stands, at least right now, and what the historical numbers actually show. SPY, obviously the S&P 500 ETF, has been one of the best performing, broad market instruments of the past 15 years. The S&P 500's total return over the past decade includes roughly 10 to 12% annually when you include dividend reinvestment. That performance was heavily driven by the tech sector, obviously, which surged during the 2020-2022 period, and again, during the AI-driven bull market of 2024 to 2025. SCHD, the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, has returned approximately 9 to 11% annually over the same period on a total return basis, including dividend reinvestment. That's competitive, but slightly below SPY in most comparable periods. But here's the specific comparison most people don't pay attention to. In the calendar year of 2022, when rising rates crushed the market and SPY fell approximately 18%, SCHD fell roughly 3.5%. In 2023, when SPY surged 26%, largely on tech and AI momentum, SCHD returned approximately 4 to 6%. SCHD protected capital in the down year, but gave up most of the upside in the bull market, okay? That divergence is the story of this comparison. Not who wins overall, but when each one wins and loses. Here's the framework for thinking about this, okay? And thinking about this comparison correctly. SPY and SCHD are not measuring success the same exact way. SPY's total return is almost entirely capital appreciation with a modest, let's say 1.5% for a dividend. It's a growth vehicle. You make money primarily when the index goes up. When the index doesn't go up, when it falls or spends years recovering, SPY produces nothing or negative returns even. SCHD's total return is a combination of capital appreciation and growing dividend income. The current yield is roughly 3.5%, but that 3.5% grows approximately 9 to 10% annually. The longer you hold, the higher the yield on your original investment. In year 10, the same shares you bought today might be paying 8 to 9% on your original cost basis. This matters for a specific type of investor, someone who wants the portfolio to eventually pay them without needing the price to keep going up. For that investor, SCHD's growing income is not a consolation prize to SPY's capital gains. It's the whole entire point of it. The comparison changes depending on your time horizon, your need for current income, and your willingness to accept lower upside in bull markets in exchange for lower damage in bear market. Let's talk about where SPY clearly wins though. In a strong bull market, particularly tech-driven rallies like we're seeing in 23, 24, 25, SPY outperforms SCHD significantly. SPY holds Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Tesla, and combined weights that exceeded 30% at times. When those names surge, SPY surges with them. All right, SCHD's quality filter and value tilt means it holds less of those multiple growth companies. When those companies run 40, 50% in a year, SCHD captures maybe a third, if that, on that move. For a pure total return investor with a long time horizon who doesn't need current income, SPY wins over most 10 to 15 year periods in modern market history. The evidence is clear on this. But let's talk about where SCHD holds its own, okay? In down markets and sideways markets, the comparison flips. SCHD's 100 holdings are weighted towards businesses that generate consistent cash flows and return capital to shareholders through dividends. These companies, right, consumer staples, healthcare, industrials, utilities, financials, tend to hold a value better during market stress because their fundamentals don't depend on speculative growth assumptions, okay? The 2022 comparison is really instructive here. SPY down 18%, SCHD down 3.5%. An investor who started 22 with 100 grand in SPY had 82 grand by the year end. The same investor in SCHD had $96,000. That 14,500 difference wasn't just 1 year variance. It's capital that continued compounding throughout the recovery. Risk-adjusted return is the metric that captures this more accurately than raw total return. SCHD produces lower average returns, but with significantly less volatility. For investors who can't emotionally tolerate a 20 to 25% portfolio decline, or who can't afford one financially, those close to retirement or drawing income from their portfolio, that lower volatility, it's got some real economic value. Let's talk about dividend growth, okay? This is important. This is the piece that changes the long-term comparison in SCHD's favor for income-focused investors like we do here. SPY's dividend has grown slightly over time, but its yield remains around less than 1.5%. For every 100,000 invested in SPY, you receive approximately let's just say $1,500 a year in dividend income, okay? And that grows very, very slowly. SCHD's 3.5% current yield on 100 grand generates $3,500 a year. At 9% annual growth, that income doubles approximately every 8 years. In year 16, the same 100 grand investment in SCHD generates roughly $14,000 per year in dividend income from the same original investment, with no need for the share price to have even increased. SPY generates $1,300 per year regardless of how long you hold it, growing very slowly. SCHD generates growing income that compounds over time. For investors planning to live off investment income rather than sell shares, that trajectory matters more than the total return comparison. But here's the honest answer to whether the SCHD beats the S&P 500. Total return comparison, SPY wins in most tech-driven bull markets, right? SCHD is more competitive over full cycles, including bear markets, and on a risk-adjusted basis, SCHD holds up better than the raw return numbers suggest. Income comparison, SCHD wins significantly for investors who need or want growing dividend income. The trajectory of SCHD's income over 10 to 20 years produces an income stream that a SPY never reaches at its current dividend yield. The right question isn't which one beats the other, it's which one serves you specifically, okay? For someone maximizing wealth with a very long time horizon and no need for current income, the evidence favors SPY for total market fund. For someone building a growing income stream to eventually replace earned income, SCHD's growing dividend serves that goal in a way SPY structurally just can't do it. Most serious investors hold both, let's be honest. SPY for broad market growth exposure and SCHD for the growing income layer. The comparison between them is less useful than understanding which job each one is supposed to actually be doing. I got some questions for you guys, as always, in the comments section. Number one, are you currently holding SCHD, SPY, or both? And was the decision driven primarily by total return expectations or by income goals? Number two, has seeing the 2022 comparison, SPY down 18%, SCHD down 3.5%, changed how you think about the value of SCHD's lower volatility? Let us know down below in the comments section. Also, if you are brand new to all this stuff, I want to invite you to the full Ark Options workshop, 90 minutes long. At the end, you get my 15 favorite stocks under 30 bucks, my 2 premium calculators, and my full trade lock template, all completely for free. You'll find a link to register for that free training as the first one in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.